Hello YouTube, it's New Here One here again, and I've been trying out a nice lovely Haze deck. I've had a couple of builds of it. I've tried just generally a couple of builds, and I'm now with a build I feel comfortable with. I think it's working rather consistently, though my luck can be dreadful at times. So I'm just going to show you a few nice lovely matches. Let's start off with my Haze deck versus some Utopia weapons. I will be pausing it from time to time to state up my thing, so convocation to deck thin, so just go through my deck. So I think he's playing heroes at this point until he summons that. So I bottomless is Utopia because that can be a pain. Summon Cerebus to get the searches out, search for the Haze pillar which helps the deck a lot. It's a good card and bad card at the same time. He brings out another Utopia and equips it with the Zex weapon, which means it can't be destroyed by card effects. But luckily for me, I've got, well, my main monster uses, well, it banishes it generally, and the hieratic combo goes off really well here. I managed to call that correctly, but I unfortunately click on the wrong card. So I was going to special one for my graveyard instead of my hand to keep my hand advantage optimal. So main phase 2 I go for Strike Bouncer to solidify the position I've already got, and he realised he's had nothing, so I won that game rather easily, let's say, because Basilisc Cock as it's here, or Basilisc Trice I think it is in, or the version I've got anyway, and Strike Bouncer plus Set Lance is too good for him to get past. I'm curious as to what this guy is playing actually, because, oh, it's just some random reptile thing. Because I went off turn 1 with my Heretic Flaming Stag combo. Managed to call that correctly, brought out another fire monster, and he just generally scooped from there, realising that a field of Basilisc Trice and Strike Bounce would be too much to get past with Step Back Row as well. So he was just playing a genuine random snake deck. Fair enough. Sorry, I was curious. New Dragons, is this one of my older builds? No, maybe. Yeah, I named this New Dragons because it's using many of the newer dragons. And he starts off really strong, and I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to get past this? So I know I'm going to take some damage here. I didn't realise that his dragon had to go back to his hand in the end phase, so that made me relieved. It's just ridiculous how much plus these cards get. So I searched out for the Haze pillar to hopefully get a combo next turn, and I've already taken a chunk of damage. End phase MST. Haze pillar is an awesome card in this deck. Unfortunately I milled wrongly, but I still have the Reborn, and I use Haze pillars to attach the final material, and that inevitably won me this game actually, because I ended up not detaching at all, which meant his big eye was useless because he couldn't target my monster with card effects due to his 4 materials. So he just now tries to still, yeah, this is one of my older builds because I've taken out the majority of the traps. So he just sacks 2 for a 3k defender, and my Basilisc just plows his entire defenses. And he realizes in his entire deck he's got nothing to get past the 3/3 beta, which can't be targeted by his card effects. So bring this up against the new suppressor dragons which are coming out, and you win. Hopefully anyway, that's my plan. Let's go for my fairy deck. Or the fairy jewel anyway. Duality. Yeah, go for the MST, because I'm going to make a play next turn, because I've got the Tefno in hand, and I can search for my Pyro Stag, or Fire Stag as I call it. So he goes for a huge first turn play. Now this guy just really managed to get on my nerves. So MST is their card, and it proceed to explode. Unfortunately I call it wrong. Basilisc tries to banish his nice lovely, what's it called, and I attack for a 55 damage. So he summons a monster and I decide to banish it to make sure he can't summon another, like, what's it called, from his hand. but he has Miraculous Descent, which annoys me, so main phase 2 I banish it. And then I get even more annoyed because he has another one face down just to retrieve it back. So he attacks over my Battle Trice, and I'm pretty annoyed about that. So I MST, and I attack direct. I decided not to summon my Fire Dog so I don't walk into Torrential Tribute. He summons that, attacks over it, and I search out the Flaming Stag, and I proceed to win from there. I call it wrong, but I have Rekindling, and at this point I did have another monster with 200 or less defense, which is a level 6, so I could have ended up going for my Battle Trice with 5 materials, which pretty much makes it immune from anything which has lower attack than it. So this game ended in my favour thanks to Rekindling and Haze Pillar and a nice top deck. Let's go for the Mermail. Again, I think this is one of my older deck lists, but so I just summon him and end, and at this point I sigh because I've still not managed to beat this deck in a 2 out of 3 match. My time will come. It will come. Yes, this is another one of my older deck lists because I'm no longer using Horn of the Phantom Beast because it was too situational, although it really works well in my favour here. He goes to summon his Megalo by ditching 2, using Marksman, so I chain my Horn of the Phantom Beast to it, which means Marksman no longer pops it because it has to remain face down, and now he just can't deal with a 2A beta, so I proceed to bring out quite a few monsters with my Rescue Cat, as it's called. He goes for his Atmosphere, but I have the MSD to chain to it, and I proceed to get pluses from Horn. I decided to banish that because I know the deck relies a lot on graveyard control, and he actually had cards like Salvage and the Pot of Avarice in his hand. So actually, I don't know how many are in his grave now, but that could have ended up stopping a 5th card from being in there to stop his plays completely. So the ability to banish from grave works really well up against Dark Wells and Inzektors and inevitably Mermail. I think I can show you one more. And let's go for let's go Dragons. This will be the last one. He's definitely playing an older variant of Dragons. I wouldn't say it's the best build, but it did its job, beating me down. He decides not to attack, and as you can see I don't have a really good hand here. I've only got one monster in Haze Pillar, so he brings that out. I go Bottomless, not realising he has a second in hand. He goes to the Stamping and I chain. I take 500 unfortunately, but that's how it goes. I still have no usable plays apart from summoning a really weak monster, so I leave it, setting the book. I decide not to use book here because I can take both hits and leave myself on enough life points to survive. So I draw my Onslaught, which really helps me out. Dark Hole gets negated and I draw an exact card I need to make that card live, and I proceed with awesome card combos, including Battle Trice and Schlag Bouncer. In my extra deck, these are pretty much the only 2 cards I go for. I've only made Swordbreaker once, and that was up against Mermails, who's kept top decking the nuts. I hate facing Mermail completely. At this point, he realises he's got nothing to get past a Strike Bouncer, Battle Trice, and 3 back row. Heavy Storm would have helped him, but I still had the Rekindling in hand to bring back, I don't know, the couple of cards I had in the grave, and I could normal summon that and stuff like that. So, this is just a couple of my nice lovely Haze Beast showings. I believe this deck has really good potential. It's not tier 1, it's not consistent enough for that. I think tier 2 is a good spot for this deck, and I'm hoping to do well with it at my regionals this Saturday, which is on my birthday no less, so I'm hoping for some good luck when I turn 18. Oh well, thanks for tuning in and goodbye.